Bogdanovich never stopped moving. That's a steal for Drummond.
Drummond knocked it free, and Torrey Craig!
No, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, my Shaq to the fool. Oh, my goodness.
Shaq immediately.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. That's a timeout. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
This pretty much encapsulates the Bulls season at its core, an unserious doing stupid things in a game where you're down 10 points and have an easy bucket after a steal to get the crowd riled up. Honestly, when that play happened, all I could do was laugh. Really, I mean, we're at this point in the season where we're all just kind of waiting for the play-in and seeing how the Bulls show up in a one-and-done matchup. Like, when you see something like this happen, you can either be really mad or just laughing it off because of how bad this season has been. Another repeat of last season. Torrey Craig, man, I am shocked that he was the one to do something like this. Like, I could see if this was maybe from Dalen Terry or Batim to try and get cute and rile the crowd up with a crazy dunk, but Torrey Craig, you're supposed to be the veteran, the level-headed one who makes the smart plays, who brings that grit and toughness. You're trying to get a dunk off the backboard in a 3-on-0 break? I don't really blame Andre Drummond. I know some were going at Drummond saying he really screwed this one up, thinking the ball was going to him, otherwise Torrey Craig would have been able to dunk it and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But he was probably just as shocked as we all were, like, oh, he's throwing this off the backboard, I guess he's doing it for me. And then, of course, to make matters worse, Andre Drummond gets injured on the other end in rolling his ankle, and he had to be wheelchaired off to the locker room. Billy Donovan did say post-game that he didn't have an update on the severity of the ankle sprain, but it sure as hell did not look good, especially when you have to be taken off in a wheelchair rather than heading to the locker room on your own weight. I'm not a doctor, but I would venture to say that Andre Drummond likely won't be back this season. I mean, it's just 3 games left anyway, and then the play-in. Maybe they hold him out for the remainder of the regular season and they have him come back for the play-in, but yeah, that did not look good. And it's unfortunate too because Drummond was on pace to play all 82 games this season, which is a rare feat to achieve in the NBA these days. And it's unfortunate for the Bulls because Andre Drummond is actually one of the few players out there who actually gives a damn when he's on the court. What else is there to say about this game? I mean, here's the thing. I didn't have the Bulls winning this one, not if the Knicks had a bad loss to the Bulls the other night, and in a game that's so critical for them in the standings where all but 3 games separate the 3 and 8 seed in the Eastern Conference. These games are of the utmost importance to them, and they weren't going to mess around like they did the other night. So it's not like this is a game where it's one where you felt the Bulls should have won. And yes, the games are kind of meaningless right now for the Bulls outside of just trying to secure home court for the play-in, but you would still like to see the Bulls just play better. Play with better hustle and effort, more grit, more hard-nosed defense, but it just has not been there in these last 2 games, both against the Magic and tonight against the Knicks. Yeah, I was pleased to see the Bulls at least keep the game relatively close when there was a period where you thought they might get blown out of this one. Overall, they shot the ball well, 53% from the floor, better tonight from 3 at 35%. Shockingly, they out-rebounded the Knicks 39-31, but the defense tonight was just not there. Even on down to Alex Caruso, like even AC was falling asleep on some backdoor cuts and getting beat off the dribble by Jalen Brunson. Like, Brunson should not be putting up 7 threes on you guys and going for 45 points. Well, let me rephrase, because Brunson is a hell of a player and he's been able to put up 40 with ease this season, but it's more so that the Bulls didn't do much in terms of changing their overall schematics on defense to let Brunson pick you apart like that. And also, Brunson aside, but the same thing we've been seeing all season from this team, the Bulls allowing way too many threes. The Bulls allow the most threes in the entire league, having a team go 17 for 36 tonight from deep with poor closeouts and oftentimes wide open looks. Just bad. Now, Dosunmu wasn't in the lineup tonight, and I'm sure if he was in, it might have been a bit of a different story in terms of the help defense on Jalen Brunson and defending the perimeter better. But yeah, the defense just was not there in this game, and the effort on that on the floor was lousy. You know, Vucevic tonight, a good bounce back game for him offensively. From one of his worst games against the Magic the other night, 26 points in this one on 12 for 16 from the floor, 2 for 3 from deep, 5 rebounds, but a team high minus 14, or should I say a team low in terms of box plus minus. Why, you might ask? Well, because Vucevic's defense has started to become comically bad. Like, I didn't think his defense could really get any worse, but the past few weeks or so, it's like Vucevic has lost all interest on that side of the ball. Hell, I would even go as far as to say it's not just on the defensive end. In general, Vucevic looks disinterested, checked out, frustrated, unhappy, all of the adjectives that describe a guy who does not want to be here. And as a diehard Bulls fan, and all of us Bulls fans who take pride in the players that give it their all when they're on the court, Vucevic's effort and attitude has been absolutely infuriating me. Yeah, it was good to see him have a strong, efficient night on offense, but even when he does, he still just does not look like he wants to be out there. And the Bulls gave him this $60 million contract that he still has 2 years left on that deal after this season ends. I don't know what needs to happen in the offseason to whip this guy into shape, and I mean that in terms of his attitude, not his physical shape, but fixing his demeanor and actually giving a damn when he's out there, because right now, Drummond has been outplaying him and actually hustling when he's on the court, which makes it even more unfortunate that Drummond just injured himself. I mean, what else is there to say about this game? Another low assist game for the Bulls, 20 assists in total as a team. We did finally get a solid game from Coby White. It wasn't the most efficient from outside, shooting 2 for 8, but he did finally set the new franchise record for most threes in a season, surpassing Zach Lavine with 205 threes on the year. Big congrats to Coby. He did look a little more comfortable out there tonight. His handles looked a little better in getting to the basket. He finished the game with 24 points on 11 for 22 shooting, 6 assists. I said we needed a big game from Coby before the game. I don't know if I would call this a big game per se, but it's one of the better games we've seen from him in a while. And then of course DeMar DeRozan leading the charge, 34 points, 12 for 22 from the floor, 9 for 11 from the line, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He did have another 4 turnovers in this game though. He had 7 the other night. Very uncharacteristic of DeMar to be turning the ball over that frequently. I'd like to think that it's just all the minutes catching up to him for a 34-year-old player, because some of those are just poor, unforced turnovers as well. Can't be too mad at it because of everything else he does when he's on the court, but still. Anyway, I don't really know what else there is to say about this game. Again, we're all kind of just waiting for the regular season to end and seeing how the Bulls do in the play-in. The Hawks did lose tonight, so the Bulls still maintain that edge over Atlanta despite the loss, since they also have the tiebreaker against them. And with the game against the Wizards and the Pistons coming up, you'd hope the Bulls could hold on to the 9th seed, but honestly, you never know with this team. Anyway, Bulls are off tomorrow, then back-to-back games against the Pistons and Wizards before the season finale against the Knicks on Sunday. Until then, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.